All right, I want to talk about Austin Reaves' value. He averaged 20 points, 4.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 34 minutes a game. But the problem with Austin Reaves, as far as the Lakers go, is that was not what his value was. That is not where his value should be. His value, he is not a player whose value is in his numbers, right? So, for example, if you watch Jrue Holiday play, right, he reminds me of Austin Reaves. You watch Jrue Holiday play, at the end of a game, you don't really know how many points he had. You know, you don't really know, because even the commentators aren't sitting there telling you, he has 35 points, he has 42 points. He's not that type of player. Jrue Holiday fills in where he needs to fill in and does it better than everybody else. That's Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves fills in where he needs to fill in, and he does it better than everybody else. If you're speaking of Austin Reaves as a quote-unquote third option, you're kind of missing the value of Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves is not, I don't think he should really be an option. And the reason why I bring up this video now regarding Austin Reaves' value is because it's that time of year. Draft, trade, free agency. It's right around the corner. It's on everyone's mind, right? And I am a diehard Laker fan. Been a Laker fan since 1982-83. I love Austin Reaves. But I think that the Lakers need to trade him before they trade Dalton Knecht, because Dalton Knecht fits in better with Luka and LeBron. And those two I don't think are going anywhere, right? So with Austin Reaves, the Lakers kind of have him slotted as a quote-unquote third option. And they speak of him as if our third option needs to get off. If our third option gets off, we're damn near unbeatable. But I don't think Austin Reaves is a third option. I don't think he is a quote-unquote option player, right? So when you hear people talk about tiers, first option Luka, second option LeBron, third option whoever, right? I don't see Austin Reaves as an option player. Austin Reaves is, again, like Jrue Holiday, like Michael Cooper. He's just a very unique kind of player, kind of like Manu Ginobili, right? You don't really know how many points they got. You just know that they're killing you, right? You don't, the other team or the fans, right, at the end of a game, how many points did Austin Reaves hit? I don't know. I just know that dude killed the opposition. And I know the opposition hates that guy. And I bring that up because when you speak of his value, I think that the Lakers may very well get more for him than they think they're going to get for him. Because I think another team is going to recognize that characteristic in Austin Reaves. It's a very unique characteristic. Players like him, aren't going to hurt you. Very important and very unique. Because when you take a guy like Luka, fantastic player, but sometimes that dude hurts you. And you need to remove him from the game in order to let the rest of the team get in sync. I've seen the same thing with Michael Jordan. Arguably, he's not the best in my opinion, but he is arguably one of the best players ever, of course. And I used to watch him play, and I used to be like, damn, man, the team's doing better with him on the bench. And it was true. It was absolute true statement. For the stretch in which Michael Jordan was on the court and things weren't quite vibing, the team did do better when Michael Jordan was on the bench, right? You take a 55-win championship team, right? The third title they won right before Michael Jordan, or the year after Michael Jordan retired. They went from 55 wins down to 53 wins, right? You just lost the best player ever in his prime. And the Chicago Bulls go from 55 wins to 53 wins. And that is because Michael Jordan was a different kind of player, man. He could do things that, in the broad sense of a team, hurt the team. That's what you get with great players. This is not a knock on Michael Jordan. This is just the truth. When you have great players, not all of them, but a lot of them, right? Especially guards, right? They have aspects of their game that hurt the team, you know. And what you get with Austin Reaves is a player that is not going to hurt the team, but it feels like he is only helping the team, right? Even if he has a bad game in which he's missing layups and whatnot, it does not feel like it's killing the team. You know, it very unique characteristic. And I brought that up because I think, well, let me put it like this. I just read something that says the Lakers are only going to trade Austin Reaves for an impact center. And I think that is a stupid position to take. And the reason why that's a stupid position to take is there are other deficiencies within this team. I mean, the Lakers. If you don't know, I'm a diehard Laker fan, right? And a lot of my videos are relative to the Lakers, okay? So, but the reason why it's a stupid position to take is because while we need a center, the centers they're speaking of are not centers that JJ Redick wants, because those centers don't feed a game that JJ Redick wants to play, right? I just got through making a video saying that if the Lakers pick up Daniel Gafford will be made unplayable by JJ Redick in time. This is what's going to happen. And then the talking heads are going to jump on that narrative, because it seems like that's a pattern in Laker Nation. That's what happens. But so if the Lakers trade Austin Reaves for a impact center, which I don't think his value is that of an impact center, but if they trade him for an impact center, I don't think it's the wisest thing to do. We have other deficiencies. I would rather them trade for a young athletic guard. And when I say that, really don't even have to be athletic. I think the ideal situation for Austin Reaves is Houston. Houston was a 2 seed. They are on the cusp. And I've seen this a million times in the NBA. Not a million, but I've seen it a bunch of times in the NBA. When you have a team that's on the cusp, either you make the move to get over or you don't. And that team you see start to trend down. Then all of a sudden you see, oh, they don't have the talent that they have. What happened to all the talent? Well, you can't maintain all that talent. Somebody got to come up and rise. Right, so if you have a team that has 10 guys, 22, 23 years old, very similar to Oklahoma City. You got 10 guys, 22, 23 years old, and none of them rise to the point of being a superstar. Well, you got to start shedding that stuff out. And you got to parlay those 10 talented athletes you have with all that upside. You better parlay it into other assets to keep this train going. Right? Because if you don't, in time, come up with the superstar combination to get you over, then your franchise is on the way to going down to nothing. Going down to the lottery again. Right? You got to do something with all those assets. You look at Oklahoma City. They still have 1 million draft picks, if I'm not mistaken. But they better start doing something with those assets. They better start parlaying those assets, flipping one of their talented players and a bunch of those assets into a superstar that gets you to a championship. Right? And that's what I see in Houston, and that's why I think Houston, in my opinion, is the prime location that the Lakers should look to trade Austin Reaves. Houston is loaded with talent. And not only that, they got a player in Amen Thompson, who I think is fantastic. And I'm not sure what he becomes. But I know just from watching him, the way the dude moves, it's like, yo, man, if this guy ever developed a jumper, he already played point guard. His handle is fine for the position. But in order for him to blossom, somebody got to go. Right? And I think that somebody on their team is Jalen Green or Reed Shepherd. And I think the perfect player, right, just from what I described of Austin Reaves a second ago about how he is that guy who at the end of a game, you don't know how many points he had. You don't know how many rebounds he had. You don't know how many assists he had. All you know is that he kicked ass. That's Austin Reaves, right? He could have a 13-point game and fill in the rest with rebounds and assists and feel like he kicked ass, or he could have a 30-point game and fill out the rest with rebounds and assists, or not. And the dude just feels like he kicks ass, man. That's Drew Holiday. Same thing. That's Michael Cooper type. Same thing, right? So when you have a young, talented team in which Amen Thompson got to get the ball, Jabari Smith got to get the ball. I love Jabari Smith, by the way. I think he is just a fantastic frame, fantastic skill set. I think he's going to be a great player. And Alperen Sengun, I love his game. 1980s, 1990s, 2000s type big man, right? Respects, back to the basket, just will straight kill you if you don't respect the fact that a big man is necessary in the NBA, right? And the dude, he shoots a good 15, 20 footer, man. I mean, he's solid, and that's going to continue to get better. But when you got those three guys, you need the fourth guy to be Drew Holiday, to be Austin Reaves. And I think I just coined this, but this is my phrase, and it started here at Pure Uncut Lakers. Austin Reaves is not an option player. In the first, you got the first option. You got your Jason Tatum's. Second option, Jaylen Brown's. Third option, Kristaps. Right? A lot of people would say it's Drew Holiday. Might be White. Right? All I know is that, White is another guy. All I know is that Drew Holiday and I think Derek White on Boston Celtics. Those guys are not option players, man. They're just guys that just feel like they just steady kick ass. That's what they do. That's what Austin Reaves is. That's where his value is. And a guy like that, you need when you got a team that has Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith, right? That you need a guy like Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves is more valuable to Houston than, in my opinion, Austin Reaves would be more valuable to Houston than Jalen Green is to Houston right now. Conversely, I think Jalen Green is better on the Lakers, especially if JJ Redick is unafraid to tell Luka Doncic the correct way to play. But I think Jalen Green is better on the Lakers than Jalen Green is with Houston. And I think that the Lakers need to come off of a dogmatic stance that says we're only trading Austin Reaves for an impact center. Go find the impact center, right? When I say go find the impact center, you don't need much. You don't need much, right? Personally, I think Tristan Vucevic is the one you want, but there are other impact centers that in the context that the Lakers need, right? In other words, all you're really looking for is a position defending center who takes up space and is able to rebound. Maybe do some weak side defense. That's it, right? That's all you're looking for in that context. You go get Tristan Vucevic, you're talking about a 20 plus point per game player and a 10 rebound per game player, which is why I made 2 or 3 videos right now about the guy, right? But yeah, man, when you talk about Austin Reaves' value, this is what his value is. His value is a quote unquote glue guy / non-option killer, right? / character player. That's his value. At 26 years old, who went undrafted, which speaks to the type of player you're picking up, right? His ability to improve every single year. speaks to the type of player you're picking up, just a super high character player. And that's what his value is. It's not as a third option. It's not as a fourth option. Austin Reaves is not an option player. He is not an option player. You know, in the same way Derek White will never be an option player. Drew Holiday will never be an option player. Michael Cooper was never an option player. Right? Those guys are something different. And that's what Austin Reaves is. He's his own unique version of that. And some team will really, I believe some team will recognize that and will be willing to pay for it. What I fear, though, is that the Lakers don't recognize that, the value of an option player like Austin Reaves, and they end up taking maybe less than they should. Again, you know, you don't hear me hyping up Austin Reaves or talking about his numbers. That's not where his value is, right? His value is in doing everything else. So, my mind has been set on Houston. But as this offseason goes on, I will continue to scour the rosters, scour the teams, right? Because in my opinion, any young team outside of Oklahoma City, they have young guys that are very high character, you know, and they have Alex Caruso. I was going to say they have Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso will never be an option player, right? But it feels like every time he's on the court, he's only doing stuff to help. Every time he's on the court, you don't know how many points, rebounds, and assists he has. And it kind of doesn't matter. You just know he's out there doing winning shit, right? That's Austin Reaves. And he got into this mode where they kind of tried to pull him into being that third option, but that's not him. It's not him, and it kind of showed in the playoffs. But I'll continue to scour the rosters, scour the situations of different teams. I'm more inclined to think that Austin Reaves vibes better with a young team, right? I'll give you another young team that would love to have him. San Antonio. San Antonio would be great with Austin Reaves because they're about to have a first option, first option Victor Wembanyama, second option De'Aaron Fox, third option I guess Castle. Do they have Castle? No, they got Vassell, who there goes another. That'd be another perfect trade right there. Devin Vassell for Austin Reaves. That would be a good trade. I don't know if Vassell has what the Lakers really need, but you know, because they're kind of similar size and whatnot, and I know the Lakers are so dogmatic about getting bigger that I think that they may kind of self-sabotage themselves. You know, is that a parallel trade? I don't know. You know, but San Antonio was a perfect situation, though. Young team, multiple options. They're about to have the second pick in the draft. No, I know. Austin Reaves is not worth the second pick in the draft. I'm not implying that at all. I'm just implying that value changes depending on the team. And when you're a young team that you could see the future, you could see it. Houston, Oklahoma City, San Antonio, they're young enough and good enough that they could see it. When you're in that spot, very critical stage, right, in which you got to do something or you face the proposition of coming down, right? You face the proposition of losing assets for nothing. You face the proposition of time kind of just passing you by. And in my opinion, those three teams, especially the Texas teams, they need to look at a guy like Austin Reaves and see if they can't get him for some of the talent that may be redundant, right? So, like, when you look at Houston, because that's really like where I kind of think he ends up. For some reason, I think he ends up in Houston because those guys are number 2 seeds and they're a piece here or a piece there away, right? And I see him ending up in Houston, and I see him ending up in Houston for Jalen Green or Reed Shepherd or a combination of the two versus Austin Reaves and draft pick or picks or something of that nature. Because I just don't see Reed Shepherd a number 3 pick in the draft, right? Who could supposedly shoot his ass off. I don't see him fitting with that team. I don't see it. If Reed Shepherd stays with them, I think it's just going to be a waste of talent. I mean, he's a number 3 seed. A lot of people were saying he should have gone number 1. But he's a number 3 seed. I'm sorry, another number 3 pick. And you got Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun, and Jabari Smith on that team? I don't see it, man. I don't see it. Jalen Green's another one. I just don't see it. His game is too flaky. I'm not saying he's a flaky person. I'm just saying that his game is young, right? And all the touches he gets, it's like again, it's like when the Lakers had Kobe and they had Nick Van Exel and Eddie Jones and Anthony Peeler and they had all these guys that kind of did the same thing. You know what I mean? And you see the Lakers get rid of those guys, right? And bring in one guy like Glenn Rice. And it hurt when they got rid of him, but you got it. Kobe Bryant had to be allowed to spread his wings and fly. And that was the point. And I think that they're in a very similar situation in Houston. I think that they're going to have to get rid of players in order for Amen Thompson and Jabari Smith especially to be allowed, because I think they're both all-stars. Alperen Sengun is an all-star. You got 3 all-stars on that team. Yo, dedicate your money to those guys. Make sure they get great. And Jalen Green looks like the odd man out. Now, if you were to trade Jalen Green, what do you want from him? What do you want for him? Of course, you want as much as you could get, right? You want the best package you could get. But also what you want is someone who complements what you already have. That's where Houston is. As a number 2 seed, that's where Houston is. They want someone who complements what they already have. Austin Reaves is that player. Drew Holiday is that player. Derek White is that player. Michael Cooper is that player. You see? And there's not a bunch of players in the league like that. And that's why I think Houston steps back, assesses what they have, and they push for Austin Reaves. Anyway, that's just me talking, man. But yeah, to answer my own question, what is Austin Reaves' value? His value is as a non-option, very valuable, very important glue piece. That is what Austin Reaves is. And I think he's going to fetch a little bit more on the market than the Lakers might think, because I think he's going to be coveted, right? It's not necessarily that he is worth what the Lakers get, but I think he's going to be coveted by about 3 or 4 teams. That's what I suspect. And those 3 or 4 teams know that he is the missing link for what they're about to go to, for where they are about, where they think they could take the team, right? Additionally, he is not the age of Jrue Holiday. He falls more in line with the age of these young teams. Dude is 26 years old. So yeah, that's what I suspect happens, man. Anyway, please like, subscribe, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I'm about to up the production of this whole Pure Uncut Laker thing, and I'm gonna keep putting out these videos. All right, y'all, be cool. Have a good weekend.